Madden 20 is almost a 5-year-old game, and today we are going to be rebuilding the worst overall team in Madden 20, the Miami Dolphins, at a 72 overall. That's just disrespectful. So by the end of this rebuild, we are going to see if we can turn this roster from by far the worst in the league to the best by the time we get to 2024. So this should be a ton of fun, and this is my first ever throwback rebuild. I've done a different kind of throwback, but never a throwback to a specific game. So if you want to see another one of these, let's see if we can get to 2,500 likes on this video. I set that same goal on the last video, and it seems like we're gonna hit that. I mean, I'm recording this like right after, so. But if we do hit 2,500 likes on this video, it'll let me know y'all want to see another throwback rebuild. So let me know down in the comments which game I should rebuild the worst team in next. But be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, trying to hit 60K very soon. And if you like Madden rebuilds and soon college football rebuilds, then you're definitely in the right place. And then very last thing, massive shout out. Okay, never mind. I thought this was a suggestion, but I can't find the comment. But if you suggested this, let me know. But either way, I usually give a shout out, so let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down below if you care about that. But either way, still let me know, because it lets me know what y'all want to see. But without further ado, let's get into rebuilding this team. And let me just start this out by saying, I don't know how the Dolphins are currently good when this was their roster just 5 years ago. I know 5 years can change a lot, but look at this offensive line. Is this real? I didn't mess anything up, right? This might be the worst position group I've ever seen for any team ever. Their best overall player is Daniel Kilgore at a 68, and they have Danny Isadora starting at a 60. That's crazy. And then one more thing I should say, I moved a few dev traits around, like I took some away from guys like Preston Williams, who never really became that good, Albert Wilson, and I gave some to guys like Samaje Perine, who eventually did become pretty good. Christian Wilkins only had normal dev, so I gave him superstar. Zach Sealer, Jerome Baker, Andrew Van Ginkel, I took one away from like Raekwon McMillan. Adrian Colbert had one. I don't know how they decide their dev traits. It's really weird. So I tried to keep an equal amount of ones I took away and ones I gave to players to be fair. Which, by the way, talking about terrible position groups, what is this? Vince Beagle, Charles Harris, Taco Charlton, and Andrew Van Ginkel eventually became good, but how did this happen? The Dolphins must have had a really good 2020 draft. I don't know how they didn't go 0-17 the next year, or 0-16 at the time. But anyways, that's a lot of yapping. Let's finally get into this rebuild. Let's get to the end of year one, and we legitimately might go 0-16. We will see. But unsurprisingly, we are 1-6 at the midseason. We have some re-signings to make, though. Probably nobody too important. I don't know if we have anyone too important on this whole team. That's actually a good question. I wonder if anybody's gonna be here by the end of this. I guess stay tuned to find out. But I don't want any of these players. We got Seahawks legend Jamarcus Webb here. That's great. I mean, I guess we'll re-sign Nick Needham because he became good. I don't want to just go with players that actually became good, but that's kind of what we're doing to start out. God, this game needs a dark mode. It's so white. But I don't think we're gonna bring anyone else here back. I mean, Aqib Talib is 33, and I'm pretty sure regression is like insane in this game. Like, he's probably gonna be a 73 by the end of the year. If you message frustrated running back, I would be frustrated too. But let's get to the end of the season, and I'm just excited to get to the off season, man. We need to make some changes. Okay, well, based on the fact we got beat 28-7 by the Patriots, I think it's a pretty safe bet we didn't make the playoffs. Did we win another game? Okay, we won exactly one more game. If this was one of the new Maddens, we would have gone like 9-8 and made the playoffs. 2-14 is definitely accurate for this team. Let's check out the stats reluctantly. Ryan Fitzpatrick had more interceptions than touchdowns. That's always great. Kalen Ballage had 3.2 yards per carry. I'm surprised he even had that. Devontae Parker almost had 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Ooh. Okay, Julian Davenport allowed 12 sacks. Jesse Davis with 11. How many was that? Oh, I thought it said 73. 44? You know what? With this bad of an offensive line, it should have been more. It should have been like 70 or something. But Jerome Baker led the team in tackles with 131. 12 TFLs for Andrew Van Ginkel, but sacks. Christian Wilkins with 5.5. That's cool. 3.5 for Devon Godchaux, but 3 for Andrew Van Ginkel. 2 for Taco Charlton. All right, I mean, I guess that's fair. He's still only a 74 overall, but hopefully he becomes better eventually. But interceptions, we actually had a fair amount. 3 for Baker and Talib, 1 for Howard and McMillan, and then 1 for a few players. This is going to be a long rebuild. Oh God, we have Deshaun Watson winning MVP. This was not good person Deshaun Watson. Some interesting players up here. Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson still on the Seahawks, Ryan Tannehill, good Josh Allen, I guess. That's kind of cool, but he was good here. I highly doubt we're going to have anyone for any award, though. We do have Jerome Baker at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year. What? Oh, I forgot about that. Michael Crabtree's listed as a rookie in this game for some reason. I think it was because, like, he retired then unretired, and somehow they made him a rookie. I don't know. And what a top 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Drew Tranquill wins it, and Greedy Williams at number 2. A lot of these players didn't necessarily work out. Devin Bush, Trayvon Mullen, Charles Omenihu was pretty good. Kari Willis. It's crazy that all the rookies here are already kind of old, at least a lot of them. But all right, fun first year. We did about as well as we should have, but let's have a big off season this year. I don't want to be bad for long. We should have a ton of money, I would assume. Ooh, what a call. I said Aqib Talib was gonna regress down to a 73, and that's exactly what he is. Okay, so yeah, regression is really extreme in this game, which is maybe fair because I think this was the year he finally really fell off, so can't complain too much. Also, wait, the Super Bowl. Okay, I was gonna say the simulation in this game might be better than in real life, or no, better than the newer games, but Saints and Chargers, with the Saints winning 42-14. I don't know that either of those teams were good even around this team. Even around this time, maybe the Chargers, but let me see. Okay, wait, no, other way around. The Saints were 13-3, but the Chargers only went 5-11 in 2019. Either way though, interesting Super Bowl. But here in free agency, we do have a good amount of money to work with. 83 mil, and it's an interesting free agent class. Ooh, Andrew Luck is here. Ooh, wait. Okay, that wouldn't be realistic because obviously he retired. I thought he even retired before the 2019 season. Should he still be in the game? Because I think I'm using the end of the season rosters. Did he retire before 2020? I'm confused. We could do some, alternate timeline stuff and say, hey, what if he never retired, but he just left the Colts because they weren't giving him enough help? Would that be too weird? I mean, I don't know if that really adds up, because if he was going for a team with more help, I don't think he would go to a team with this offensive line. So I might not do that. Where offensive line overall is just horrible in this game, there is nobody good. I mean, there's Andrew Whitworth, but he's 38. But let me see. I'll look through here and we will see who we want to sign. But here's what we are going to be doing in free agency. I do have a couple concerns, though. 2 completely different things, but my first concern is that we are spending too much money. I guess it isn't that much, though. I mean, it's all these players and it's only 60 mil per year for Chris Jones, Kendall Fuller, Joe Tooney, Austin Eckler, and Matt Judon. All in pretty much their primes. I guess Chris Jones is better now than a 93, and Matt Judon is better than an 83 now, but pretty much in their primes or about to hit them. So I think this is worth it. But my other concern is, I don't remember if this was the type of game where you could for sure get a player if you had the lead for them. I guess we'll find out in a second, but I remember there were some Madden games where if you had a lead for top bids, you were guaranteed to get them, which is how I think it should be, because it takes literally everything into account. Why would they accept a worse offer when it's taking everything into account? I guess it technically isn't in this game, maybe, but in the newer games it is. You know what I'm trying to say, maybe. But yeah, that's my dilemma. So I don't know if I should bid more money for these players. I don't know if I should bid less. I guess we'll have to learn the hard way. But yeah, Chris Jones, Kendall Fuller, Joe Tooney, Austin Eckler, Matt Judon, pretty much addressing every position group for the most part, other than a few. How do we... Oh yeah, you just simulate the week, right? There are no, like, 3 periods of each week. It's just 1 period for each week. So let's get to the next week and we will see who signs. Okay, it might be that you just have to have a little bit of a lead, because we do get Fuller, Jones, Judon, Tooney, and Eckler. And I mean, once we get a QB and a few more linemen in here, this team could be really good already. So let's get to the draft and let's find our quarterback of the future. But here in the draft, we of course pick at number 1. The layout really hasn't changed in the last like 4 years for the draft. I never realized that. It's pretty pretty much the same. I assumed it was gonna be the one weird thing where it just showed who was picked on the left side of the screen, but I think they changed that in like Madden 19, I don't know. But there are a ton of good players here. It almost seems like there are more first round talents than first round picks. It's weird. Drafting was so easy in this game. I mean, in a way. It's easier now in the sense that it doesn't tell you exactly how good a player is. It just tells you the round. Or no, it does. Never mind. Bottom right corner says talent early first. Never mind. So both Joey Ryans and Jake Blanchard are early first round talents, but Joey Ryans is a year younger. He is slow though. That's the only thing, but A throw power, A medium accuracy, or throw accuracy mid, whatever. A minus deep, but Jake Blanchard is just as slow with like slightly worse ratings, barely, and he's a year younger, or a year older. So I think we are going to go with Joey Ryans as the #1 pick here out of Texas. I'm probably not going to be the best at drafting in this game in terms of like dev traits and everything, but it really just lays out exactly how good the players are. I guess it still does that in the new games, but you get to scout a lot more players in these older games. So we'll go with Joey Ryans. Hidden dev, 80 overall. He is the #1 player in the class. This is going to be like an all-timer draft class. This is a lot easier than the newer games. But what else do we need? I see a 7.8 combine grade, 4.41 speed with 29 bench reps. But let's see. I think we might go with, Damon Thorne. Probably Damon Thorne. Early first round talent in the early second. Probably going to take him. Aaron Fox also looks good, but late first. And we don't need D-line as bad. All right, well, let's go with Damon Thorne here out of Washington. Another early first round talent. He's 6'8", 327. Isn't that exactly what Joe Alt is? 322 apparently, close enough. Plus 21 years old, but we will take him, no questions asked. Normal dev, unfortunately, but still a really good player. We maybe could have gotten away with him in the 3rd round, but it looks like players do go early here if they are actually really good. I keep unpausing the draft. That's gonna drive me insane. But I'm gonna show 2 more picks here. Who do we want to go with? There is a good corner, or at least a decent one. Ooh, Norman Holcomb is still available. There was a receiver with a really good combine, but he's gone. Ooh, this dude skipped the combine. Forrest Irvin. Oh, he's 24. No thanks. You know what? Let's go with another Washington player. Norman Holcomb. A 4.71 was the fastest 40-yard dash? Really? That's not great for a defensive end. I mean, he's only 254. We'll take him. Also normal dev. Is it harder to get dev traits in this game? Maybe. Also, a first-round talent is only a 71. Interesting. But hey, I mean, that's good value. Picked at 31. Or no, picked at 64. Ranked 31. I also missed that so much. I don't know why it doesn't just immediately show you the player's overalls. I mean, I guess I know why it does. At least I'm assuming I do. Just so you don't double up if you miss on a player. But like, I don't know. I missed the instant gratification. I need some of that in my life. But all right, last pick. Let's go with Lynn Barnes. I'm remembering another strategy. I think corners and receivers with a good 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle are always good options. I think that was the strat most of the time. But all right, let's go with Lynn Barnes. Not crazy good value. He's a late 2nd round talent. We're literally the 1st pick in the 3rd round, but still technically good value. And we need a corner. Hidden dev, only a 68 overall, but ranked 61. We got him at 65. We'll take it. But okay, here's how we did in the rest of the draft. We went with Miles Redman. I think he was a 2nd-ish round talent, or was he even scouted? Did I just randomly make this pick? I might have. But I mean, he was about like a 2nd round talent if Lynn Barnes was, so that was good. Mark Phillips was a 2nd round talent for sure. The overalls are a lot lower in these games, which I'm kind of happy about. I made some interesting picks down here, but to be fair, they were just flyers on guys that weren't scouted. Orlando Williams he actually has some pretty good ratings. Wait, he's slow, but he has 80 medium route, 76 deep route. He also only has 62 catching in traffic, so that's not great. 50 release. I guess there's something to work with, barely. Denard Langford, that doesn't look like a good pick, but I think it was. I think he was like a 4th or 5th-ish. He was ranked like 1 something that was close to fair value, but still a good pick. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Shaquille Morris. He was ranked like 430, but he was strong, so I took him. And then Perry Hewitt, I just went with another strong player. I wasn't going to keep doing that strategy because it didn't work, but I'm glad I did. He was a 1st round talent. I think he was ranked number 30 in the 7th round, so that's maybe the best value pick we made, especially because we need O-line so bad. bad. So very, very, very good draft class. Came out of here with 2 early first round talents and then 2 late first round talents. We'll take it. But here is a look at the team heading into year 2. What a glow up. We're already an 80 overall, 80 offense and 80 defense. That's kind of surprising. But I mean, we did fix most of our major needs. We definitely still have quite a few needs, don't get me wrong, but this is a very good start. But the big goal for this year is obviously trying to win, you know, Rookie of the Year awards. We only have one candidate for it on offense, Joey Ryans, which by the way, he has 88 medium accuracy as a rookie. That's crazy. 96 throw power, only 60 speed though. There aren't really quarterbacks that slow anymore, so this is definitely a little outdated, but a really good player either way. But this defense, by the end of this rebuild, could be insane with the players we have here. I mean, this is like 25-year-old Kendall Fuller, 26-year-old Chris Jones, 24-year-old Christian Wilkins, 25-year-old Xavier Howard, 27 already. Like, all these guys should develop a lot more. And then once we get some like good young safeties and maybe another pass rusher in here, this defense could be maybe the best in the league. We'll see. But all right, let's get to the midseason point of year 2, and I'm gonna predict, I'm loving making predictions lately, I don't know why, but I'm gonna say, are we gonna be good already? I don't know, I still think an 80 isn't like amazing, but it is much better. I'll play it safe. We're gonna be 3-4 at the midseason. That's my guess. Maybe that's not safe. We'll see. Okay, maybe that was a little optimistic. We are 2-6, not exactly 3-4. And I mean, we are last in the division, but the Patriots lead it at only 3-4. So we're really not that far behind. So we're getting there, but we're definitely not there yet. We just got beat 35-3 by the Raiders, so we're definitely not there yet. So we do have some re-signings. I don't know if I really want Raekwon McMillan back. Maybe though. And then everyone else, I'm probably good. We'll see. We might re-sign these two at the end of the year. So once again, we're not really re-signing many players for kind of obvious reasons. So let's get to the end of the year and hopefully, you know what? I wouldn't mind another, you know, top 5 pick. I would hope we won't have the number 1 pick, but you know, if we finish as one of the worst teams, we could definitely use that draft pick again. Okay, we do finish 6-10, but we almost made the playoffs at 6-10. The best team in the division was the Patriots at 7-9. What a division. What happened? How does that happen? But let's check out our stats. Joey Ryans was pretty good for how bad the rest of the team seemed. 3,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 picks is definitely a little high, but you know, he was just a rookie. Austin Eckler, 1,000 yards, 4.3 per carry. We'll take that. Not many rushing touchdowns, but still a good year. Ooh, I didn't necessarily want that. Albert Wilson was our leading receiver with 897 yards. Probably going to be off the team by the end of this year. Devontae Parker's already 28 in this world. I mean, I guess this is like 2021, so, or 2020. I guess I didn't realize how old he was. But Miles Redmond at right tackle was bad because he's a bad overall, but Damon Thorne was better at left tackle because he's a better overall. Take notes for the newer games, please. I mean, it wasn't perfect. Like, Joe Tooney allowed 7 sacks at left guard, but this is a lot better than the newer games. It's more realistic. Like, where did we go wrong? In the newer Maddens, Damon Thorne would have allowed, you know, 13 sacks at a 78 overall, and Redmond would have allowed like 3 because he's a 68 overall. Kendall Fuller led the team in tackles with 117. That's interesting. 16 TFLs for Chris Jones, and sacks, 8.5 for Judon, but only 6.5 for Chris Jones. 5 for Wilkins. We started Van Ginkel. I meant to start, I guess Holcomb did get more playing time. He was just terrible. 2 sacks in 500 snaps. I've seen worse in the newer games though, believe me. But whoa. Okay, maybe I take back what I said about this game being more realistic. Lynn Barnes as a rookie, as like a 68 overall to start the year, got 7 interceptions. Okay, that's rough. I mean, that's really good, obviously, but I don't think a 68 overall should be doing that. But 3 picks for McMillan, 2 for Fuller, and then that was it. No picks for Howard, Bobby McCain, or Eric Rowe. That's tough. And pass deflections are really low in this game. Okay, I like the offensive numbers more in these older games, but the defensive numbers are a little weird. But Lamar wins MVP. Tyrod Taylor. Okay, I'm starting to take back what I said earlier. Tyrod Taylor wins MVP, or no, he was number 2 for MVP at a 69 overall. I mean, I think he's underrated. Not that underrated. Also, Blake Bortles up here. Mitch Trubisky. Okay, maybe I don't think this game was more realistic, but some things are better. Also, Big Ben already at 73 overall. Quarterbacks also regress way too much in this game. Oh, what team are we? We're the Dolphins. I already forgot. So we're not going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, unfortunately, but Defensive Player of the Year goes to JJ Watt. Vontez Burfict up here. But yeah, Jake Blanchard wins Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Bengals. That sucks. We'll see what dev trait Ryan's has in a second. Was slow dev still a thing? No, they got rid of that when they gave the like diamond-shaped dev traits or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. Lynn Barnes obviously wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Norman Holcomb at number 7. I might raise our XP sliders a little bit because Lynn Barnes won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's gonna get like 1 upgrade point for getting 7 interceptions and only be like a 73 overall. Wow, this is really interesting to go through. Some of the players that were still good at this time: Le'Veon Bell, Mark Ingram, Leonard Fournette, James White. Damian Williams was the Chiefs running back. I think he was really good in like a Super Bowl for them. D-Hop still on the Texans. Antonio Brown got signed by the Ravens here, apparently. John Ross worked out here, I guess. Interesting. Also, Ryan Shazier on the Colts. Another player that I maybe would have thought was retired by this point. Maybe not, though. But either way, we got some problems to still solve with this team. We had the 2nd worst offense and the 3rd worst defense, so let's get into another offseason. And we will see if we want to do much in free agency. We probably should, but it depends on how much money we have. Also, I should point out, restructuring obviously wasn't a thing in this game yet, so we're not going to be able to just use my regular strategy of signing a million players and then just pushing all the cap space back until we end up with like negative $80 million in year 5 or something. So we're going to have to be a little smarter with our cap space here. Wow, that is so white. That hurts. Okay, I definitely think I'm going to raise XP sliders. We had a superstar dev punter. The free agent punters were terrible. So I signed Parker Logan. Apparently he had superstar dev, but he started as a 65 overall. He went up 1 overall with superstar dev. Okay, I'm going to raise the XP sliders a lot. Again, I don't think we're going to bring anyone back here. Maybe Raekwon McMillan in free agency. Ooh, but Lynn Barnes did actually get a ton of upgrades. That's cool. He did get 4. I thought I remembered winning awards in this game and getting like 1 upgrade point and the player going up like 1 overall. I guess not, though. But yeah, oh yeah, for dev traits, I don't think we got any good ones. Ryan's only has star, and then obviously Barnes only has star. So no superstars, no X factors, but I really do wish Ryan's had one. That would be nice. But here's what we're gonna do in free agency this year. Ooh, we could Laramie Tunsil's deal's already up with the Texans. Oh, was he there for like 2 years and then they just let him go? I'm realizing not many players get re-signed by teams here. Like free agency's always pretty big. Nah, I guess a good amount of players do. Like this isn't too crazy, but still. But these are the players we're gonna go for. We're gonna go for Keanu Neal, which that's what I meant to say. It's kind of interesting. He's an 87 overall. You know, he was a big hitter, but like he was never really that great of a cover player. I don't know, maybe Falcons fans are gonna hate me for that, but we'll still sign him. I mean, he's an 87 overall. Sounds good to me. Also, Zach Cunningham, John Ross. It'd be kind of fun to, you know, try to save the career of John Ross. Apparently he was really good this year and probably developed 2 overall. I already raised the XP sliders, so hopefully they're better. I'm at like at least 140 for every position. So we'll see what happens. But let's see if these players do want to sign. I keep forgetting we have to simulate the week. We can't just press a button and see if they do. Not the craziest free agent class, but a good one. And we do get all 3 of them, which by the way, we also submitted like a somewhat cheap deal for Keanu Neal. It was only 77 points. Is that what they call them? I don't know. So now this defense is looking really nice, up to an 83. Still need to fix this offense, but let's see how much we can fix it in the draft. But in the draft, I mean, I asked for a top 5 pick and we got a top 5 pick. Ask and you shall receive. But what do we want to do here? Whoa, that's interesting. Well, I'm not going to say why, but there is a good QB here. That's cool, I guess. And there are some insane running backs. I guess maybe they're not as insane as they look, because Edmonds is a mid-first round talent. I would guess early. Junior Redmond is an early first round talent running back, though. That's cool. Ooh, we could go with a receiver. Don Spadell, not worth the pick. Neither is Jeffrey Carney, but they both look good. I don't know what I want to do here. We might trade this pick back, because what do we really need? We need receiver, O-line for sure, and then pass rush, but there just isn't anybody worth picking at those positions. Well, there is Walter Drayton. God, it scouts so many players. Almost everybody is scouted, like at least for the first 3 rounds pretty much. That's kind of crazy. That's a little broken, but I won't complain. It makes drafting as easy as possible. So I think we're gonna go with Walter Drayton here. No full-on A ratings, just A minuses, but I mean, he is an early first round talent. I would guess 5. Is early really first just top 5 in this game, or is it top 10 or like top 12 or something? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but I would guess like 5 to 10 range. I don't know if he's crazy good, but probably good. Never mind, he is number 3 in the class. 78 overall, wearing number 78. That's interesting, but very good player. Took a ton of talent. That was a super hard decision to take a for sure top 5 player in the top 5. Takes a lot of skill. But let's see, in the second round, it does get a little harder, I guess. Both of the centers are gone. I wanted one of them, and the receivers. Nobody good really slips in this game. I mean, you know, there are players that should go earlier for sure, but if there's a player that's good enough to be drafted, that's projected to go in that range, they will go for sure. Like, there are no, you know, projected first round picks that are actually first round talents that are still available. So I think we'll go with Jared Crawford. He's the only, he's a early first round talent. That makes my decision easy. I didn't think he would be that good because he, again, doesn't have even any A minuses for ratings, but we'll take him. Only a 76, so early is top 10, I guess. But I mean, hey, ranked number 9, picked at 37. That's a very good pick. And let's see, should we go with Gerald Noel? He is an early second rounder, so that means he's gonna be like a not 60, like a 71. I mean, I don't know who else to go with, to be fair. I don't know if that guy's gonna start, but we could go with Deontay Peck. Deontay, interesting. Looks good though. Who should we go with? I guess that's our best option. There really aren't any crazy players left. There was a first round talent corner, but he went. This draft class doesn't look as good as last year. So let's go with Gerald Noel. I think he is the highest projected player that we have scouted that is left. So we'll take him as the last pick I'm going to show. Normal dev, that sucks. Ranked 33, picked at 69, nice. So we'll take it. Definitely not as good of a draft as last year, but still really good. But here's how we did in the draft. Something interesting in this game is if you move like defensive ends to outside linebacker, they go up in overall. In the newer games, they go down if you move them from defensive end to outside linebacker. Kind of weird. Oh, it looks like maybe defensive ends just have good coverage in this game. Like, he has 63 zone. Ratings in this game are weird. Like, really weird. That's one thing I'll give the new games. They made the ratings a lot more realistic. Not that that's necessarily a hard thing to do, but like 79 speed for the fastest speed rusher D-end in the class, or like one of the fastest. But yeah, either way, very good pick. Just weird ratings. Crawford's good, of course, and then this is what I did for the rest of the draft. Did I show the Dante Peck pick? I might have. I at least talked about him, but he's decent. Dalvin Doolittle has hidden dev. It seems like hidden dev doesn't mean as much in these games, so I'll probably just go with Peck as the starter. We'll see, though. And then Noah Larson was horrible as a middle linebacker. Still bad at a 61 overall, but, you know, a 61 in Madden 20 is a lot better than a 61 in my normal rebuilds, I'll say that. So once again, I'm sure we had one of the best draft classes. It looks like we definitely did. What did the Lions do? Oh, well, I guess that's how a lot of drafts look, to be fair. Yeah, the Rams. I guess they picked late, but drafting is, I can't say harder in these games, but the players aren't as good, which I feel like is a little more realistic, so I kind of like it in a way. This feels like a whole different experience than the newer Maddens. It's kind of fun. But also, you know what? I'm not really used to releasing players in the newer games. Usually I just restructure everyone. But we are gonna make some cuts here. We are gonna cut Rashad Jones, unfortunately. It'll save 10 mil. I don't know if we necessarily need the money right now, but these are guys we might just cut anyways. Let's see, do we want Bobby McCain or Eric Rowe more? Probably just McCain because he's a better overall. And then we'll cut Jakeem Grant. He is a good returner, but like, we can find another good returner. I think he's one of those players that if you move him to running back, they go up to a ridiculous overall, but that's a little bit cheesy. And then we'll cut Jesse Davis. Not that we necessarily are desperate for cap space, but you know, it's kind of satisfying to clear up a ton of cap space. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But here we are heading into year 3 already? Yeah, year 3. Up to an 83 overall. You know, 11 better than we were at the start of this, so we're doing well. I also picked up some free agents like DeMarcus Robinson, Morgan Fox. I just kind of filled out some of the depth, Trey Herndon, but a couple starters. But we should finally be decent this year. We do have a good team on paper. It is almost completely different than the Dolphins were at the start here. We only have a few original players like Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki as starters still. We've replaced pretty much everybody else. And then on defense, still a few Dolphins players at the time. Christian Wilkins, Xavier Howard, Jerome Baker. Not many. I guess Bobby McCain too. But yeah, like I said, we have an 83 offense, 83 defense, 83 overall. I want to see where that ranks in the league. So let's see. There are a couple teams better than us, but we are better than teams like the Patriots, Raiders, Panthers, like a lot of the teams. So we're actually doing pretty good. We're not too far behind the Cowboys, which look like the highest overall team. Really? We can't even escape the Cowboys here in Madden? That's crazy. So we already almost have the highest overall team in the league. We're just 2 overall off. But I do have high hopes for this year, so let's get to the midseason point. And you know what? This year, I'm once again gonna hope for 3 wins, 3 and 4, hopefully 4 and 3 even, but we'll see. Okay, we are 4 and 3 at the midseason. Finally doing well. You know, it is kind of funny though. We had a bad team and we did bad in simulation, and now we have a pretty good overall team and we're doing pretty good in simulation. This doesn't normally happen in Madden 24. I hate to keep comparing it to the new game, but there are definitely some things I like more about this one. I'll say that. Now, it doesn't seem perfect. Well, no, the Patriots aren't doing great, and I don't think they had a very good overall team, but the Jets, I think, are kind of an outlier. I think they had a bad overall team and they're doing well, so I don't know. But yeah, we are finally doing well, and we have some re-signings to make here. A couple pretty important ones. Mike Gesicki and Jerome Baker. We'll re-sign Mike Gesicki. We'll go, oh yeah, there was no interest in this game. It's weird. But 4 years, 25 mil. He takes it. Oh, is this the game where you could like up the length and they would just automatically accept the deal? 4 years, 18.9 mil for Jerome Baker. Players are so cheap. He takes it. And then everyone else, I think I'm good for now. I mean, there are a couple starters like DeMarcus Robinson, Morgan Fox, but nobody too crazy. Oh, and it's shown a weekly award. Did we win one? Jerome Baker, 8 tackles, a pick, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. That's Olivier Vernon had 4 tackles and 4 sacks in week 4. That's weird. But anyways, let's get to the end of year number 3, and can we make the playoffs for the first time already? Ooh, and right after we re-signed Jerome Baker, it looks like we hit a breakout for him, so he now has superstar dev, and 4,000, that's oddly specific, 4,000 XP. Interesting. It's like 10,000 XP, or 5 in Madden 24, but here it's 4? Kind of weird. Also, we tied with the Panthers. That's fun. Okay, we do make the playoffs, going only 9-6-1, but I guess that is still enough to make them. We're unfortunately coming off of a 35-10 loss to the Jets. Also, every team in our division had a winning record. The Bills at 12-4, Jets 10-6, us 9-6-1, and the Patriots 9-7. Interesting. I honestly kind of thought the rest of this division would be horrible for most of this rebuild. But Joey Ryan's 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks. Austin Eckler, 1,100 yards, 4.3 per carry. Not many rushing touchdowns. There aren't nearly as many rushing touchdowns in this game as there are in the newer ones. Some players get, you know, a good amount, but yeah, not nearly as many. Also, Zeke had 1,700 yards, 5.3 per carry. Again, just the Cowboys, man. Definitely looks like we're a run-first team, I guess. We don't run that much, though. But Devontae Parker, 800 yards, led the team. Almost 800 for Mike Gesicki. Almost 800 for John Ross, too. Ooh, okay. Our O-line is getting worse despite getting better. That's classic Madden. We allowed 49 sacks. Great. Okay, maybe some things do never change. This is 49? What? I guess it just doesn't count some if, you know, a specific player didn't allow a sack. But Jerome Baker again led the team in tackles with 129. 15 TFLs for Judon led the team, 13 for Wilkins, and sacks. 10.5 for Christian Wilkins, 7.5 for Chris Jones, good year from him. 6.5 for Drayton as a rookie, 6 for Judon. And interceptions, 3 for McCain, 2 for Baker, and then 1 for a few players. So I don't know what's wrong with our O-line. I mean, it isn't great on paper, but I mean, it should have been better than this. I want to see, what was the most sacks allowed in the league for a team? Ooh, we were second. Also, Teddy Bridgewater, what a year. 4,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 picks, while getting sacked 51 times. That's crazy. There's some weird stuff happening here. All right, Neil Copeland, a 71 overall for the Bears, wins MVP. Andrew Luck on the Giants at 5. Jacoby Brissett got signed by the Patriots here. I guess, you know, he went back to the Patriots in real life and he went back here. But no Dolphins for Offensive Player of the Year. Jerome Baker at 3 for Defensive Player of the Year, though. But I don't think we had any offensive rookies at all other than linemen. But Defensive Rookie of the Year does go to Walter Drayton. I didn't think he was good enough, honestly. I mean, he did well, but he didn't put up crazy numbers, but it apparently was enough. Also, what's happening with the Texans. They had 3 defensive rookies up here, but none of them are like crazy good overalls. That team must be bad. But we will definitely take defensive rookie of the year. Honestly though, should we change offensive playbooks? It still is not good at all, and it should be pretty good at least, but it's still terrible. What's a good offensive playbook in this game though? It looked like the Cowboys was pretty good. Oh, we also have Coach XP. I forgot this was a thing. What do we want? I guess maybe development. We'll go O-line training. We apparently need it. I haven't spent this in forever. Let's go DB and we'll go QB. Sounds good. But what were the best offenses this year? Bills, Bears, Lions, Ravens. Honestly, a lot of the teams with the best offenses didn't have great records. Some of them did, but not all of them. Should we try the Bears offense? I would never think that that would be the one to go with. Looks like it was good. We might as well give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. I'm also going to sub in Doolittle because Peck was not very good this year. Other than that, though, I don't know if I want to bench anyone else because it's not like we have very good backups. Oh yeah, and for rookie dev traits, unfortunately, Drayton only has star. Should go up to superstar at least, but unlucky. But we are going to be taking on the Cleveland Browns in the wild card at only 8-8. I'm honestly expecting us to lose, but let's see what happens. And yeah, we get destroyed. Why? What's happening with our team? We get beat 42-21. Have we been on like a big losing streak lately? Yeah, what happened? We've gone, I guess, 4-1 in the last 5 games if you count the playoff game. Or no, 1-4, I mean, not 4-1. I mean, we were doing super well before then. We just completely fell off. Well, I'm gonna chalk it up to the offensive line. I never really do this, but I actually do want to see what happened in the playoff game to see what we need to fix. It looks like Ryans did really well, but he got sacked 6 times. All right, that's an issue. Also, we had no run game. Damon Thorne, what happened? It was mostly just him. Olivier Vernon, man, what's with him? But all right, let's get into the offseason and let's really work to fix this offensive line. Seems like the Bears are pass heavy, so it maybe wasn't the best move to go with a pass heavy offense when our offensive line is struggling as much as it has, but you know, I guess it struggles in the run game too, so I don't know. And it looks like the Browns do make it to the Super Bowl at only 8 just to get smoked by the Cowboys. Some things truly never change. A mid team in the Super Bowl and the Cowboys dominating the Super Bowl. Have they updated this game in the last 5 years? I don't know. But we have some re-signings. Honestly, I don't think I really want anyone here back. It's mostly just backups. I mean, Demarcus Robinson, but we hardly used him. Yeah, I think we'll just keep our cap space. I wish it would say how much you have. I guess it will if I go in here. 39 mil. Honestly, that's not as much as I expect. I guess that's still a good amount. But let's get into free agency once again, and hopefully there's some good linemen because we need them. Honestly, our quarterback hasn't been that great though. He's been good, but not amazing. In free agency, it's interesting. I don't see any good linemen. Ooh, this is pre-breakout Colton Miller, I guess. He still sucks here. There's Brian Bulaga. I don't know how he did this year though. I guess we can't really go with a lineman. There aren't any good ones. I mean, maybe we should sign Brian Bulaga just so our offensive line isn't a problem, but what do we want to do here other than that? You know, we don't really have an amazing receiver. What if we sign Tyler Lockett? He is an 88 overall here. I mean, we have Devontae Parker, but he's regressing. Tyler Lockett's also probably going to regress after the year, but at least he's better right now. But let's see. I'll look through here and we'll see what else we want to do. All right, you know what? We're just going to go full win now mode, and we are just going to sign pretty much the biggest upgrades that we possibly can. We are going to go for Jair Alexander to be our #1 corner. Not that we're really in a need for corner, but I do have a plan for our secondary. But we're also going to go for Von Miller. Matt Judon is regressing, and this is a pretty cheap deal. He's asking 2 years 37, but we can't afford that, so we're going 2 years 28. We're also going to go for Tyler Lockett, of course, like we said, and then we are going to try to get Brian Bulaga. We're just going to hope that he plays better than the guys we have now, because, I mean, it hasn't been great, at least this last year. The first year, it looked like our offensive line could be good once we, you know, added a few good players, but in typical Madden fashion, you add good players to the O-line and it plays worse somehow. Love that. So hopefully that doesn't happen here when we add Brian Bulaga. But all right, let's get to the next week and let's see if these 4 players sign. And we get Bulaga, Lockett, and Alexander. We don't get Von Miller yet. Ooh, Doolittle has superstar dev? Why? I mean, that's cool, but I don't know if he's ever really gonna develop into anything. I guess we'll see. But do we still have the lead for Von Miller? Ah, no, we don't. Okay, well, we can't get Von Miller. That's fine. We do still kind of maybe need a pass rusher, but I don't think we're gonna get one here. Ooh, Shaquem Griffin. That would be kind of fun. I don't know if he would play an impact or, you know, make an impact, but I'll sign him. I think the Dolphins did sign him at one point. And I mean, he was a pretty good player. I'm sure teams were, you know, turned off by the fact that he didn't have a hand, but I don't know. know. Like, if you're good, you're good. I feel like you should get signed, and he just, for some reason, never got signed again, despite, you know, playing well when he got opportunities. But I guess we'll see if we can get him. That would be fun, and we do. But let's get to the draft. We'll have to see what we want to do. I'm thinking we'll go O-line, but we do also have some other holes on this team. But we pick at number 23 this year, and there are some good players available, mostly good players early on, but I mean, we do kind of need a safety. I don't know if this guy's going to be available by the time we pick, but early first round talent. I didn't even look at his name. Santiago, that's great. There are some good linemen this year too, thankfully. I don't think we need to trade up. There should still be some players by the time we pick. I don't think I've traded a pick this entire rebuild, which is kind of weird, but we haven't really needed to be fair. You know, I don't want to just trade around just for the sake of trading around, but let's see. Oh, Seth Dawson is still available. This is making my job pretty easy. I think we are not even going to think twice about that. Actually, Jeffrey McLeod is also a early first round talent. How about Rich Richie? What are these names? Another early first round talent. He honestly looks really good. He might be better than Seth Dawson, but Seth Dawson did have a better combine and he's a year younger. I think we'll maybe still go with Seth Dawson, but there are some insane tackles this year, thankfully, because we need them. So let's go with Seth Dawson. I think he will be the one we take. We could go with another one though in round 2. I don't know where he's gonna play. He'll probably play maybe left tackle, and then we'll play Damon, whatever his last name is, at guard. I don't know. We'll figure something out. 77 overall, ranked number 3 in the class. This must not be a very good class. I think number 3 in last year's draft would have been like a 79, but hey, we'll still take it. That's a very good pick. The Lions picked a 62 overall in the second round, apparently, so let's hope we do better than that. I think we will, because I think we're gonna take Rich Richie. Do we need any more offensive linemen? I don't know, but you know, I don't really see any other early first round talents here, so I think we'll go with the early first round talent in the late second, and I'm sure we'll find somewhere to play him. I do think Dawson was better, but they both could be like 77 overalls. Let's see. Never mind, he is the number 1 player in the class. No dev trait, unfortunately, but drafting is so easy in this game. It literally just lays it out for you perfectly. I mean, I know it still does that in the newer games, but like I said earlier, you get to scout so many players here. There is another first round talent guard if we want to go with him, and he'll never like do anything for us, I don't think. Let's see, we do kind of need a defensive tackle. We only have 2 on the roster, I think, or D linemen. I think we only have Christian Wilkins and Chris Jones, which isn't a bad 2 to have, but you don't want to only have 2, obviously. So should we go with Damian Smith, late second rounder, or Shannon Davis, also a late second rounder? We'll go with Damian Smith. Better combine, really good combine. He ran a 4.79 with 33 bench reps. We will take him. Ah, normal dev. All right, we'll see. Do defensive tackles go up if you move them to defensive end in this game? I guess we'll find out. I guess it probably depends on the player, but we'll still find out. But okay, here's a draft recap. We also ended up going with Cassidy Thurman just because he was the last, like, good player that we had scouted. His arms look weird. Ew. Arms looked really gross in this game. They don't look real. They look freaky, just like me for real. But either way, good player, I guess. He's a 71 overall. That's exactly what I thought he would be. And then don't take players with good combine grades in this game. Well, maybe, but that was my strategy, and they're all horrible. So Terrence Clayton, this might be the lowest overall player I've ever seen. He is a 29 overall power back. That is crazy. Would he be a better player at like a different position? It almost just feels like he is playing the wrong position. I guess probably not, but he'd be a 53 overall tight end. He's probably like 5'8", or he's 5'10". I don't know. He's not very good. He'd be a 46 overall corner. Juan Peel is whatever, 59 overall. Not as bad as it seems, I guess. Still isn't good though. And then Jaden Keith is a 52. Another player that I think could be a higher overall at a different position. No, I guess not. 26 at receiver. Okay, I guess you're a quarterback. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing later, but overall, I mean, insane draft. We got the best player in the class and the 3rd best player in terms of overall. I would say that's a win. But here, heading into year 4, we are an 85 overall. 85 offense, 87 defense, so I guess we're close to an 86 probably. But we are looking really good, obviously. And I think this is the O-line we're gonna go with, I guess. We'll try Dawson at left tackle. We'll move Thorne to right guard. I guess that's the spot where he could do the least damage in pass protection. We still kind of need a center, but Hewitt's been all right. Yeah, pretty good. He's been arguably our best lineman, of course, as the lowest overall, pretty much. So that's great. But here's the defense. It's looking really good. I also moved Xavier Howard to free safety. Not necessarily a realistic move, but, you know, we needed a free safety. It was either him or Barnes, and Barnes would go down to a 76. Howard stayed the same overall, so I moved him. But yeah, this defense is very, very good. I am a little bit worried about our pass rush this year because, you know, Judon regressed. I guess hopefully Drayton can play well, and then I'm assuming our interior will do well, but we'll see. You never know. It's one of the most hit or miss things in Madden. So we'll see how our pass rush is, and we'll more importantly see how our blocking is. So let's get to the midseason point of year 4, and we will see how we are doing. Okay, what's happening? We're somehow worse this year. We are 3-4 at the midseason. All right, are we gonna pull my usual strategy? I don't know how well it'll work in Madden 20, but all right, how's the blocking? Okay, that's what I figured. I mean, 15 sacks so far, that isn't that bad. I mean, that's not good. Should we just stick with the line we have now? I guess I don't know what choice we really have. I want these guys to be good, so we'll see how that finishes. How's the defense this year? We're 24th for offense, 19th for defense, so it is the offense. How about points per game? Towards the bottom, it looks like, or at least bottom half. This is tough. I mean, we've made a good team, but it just isn't doing as well as it should. I know, big surprise. Team underperforming in Madden, no way. Ooh, Austin Eckler is really terrible this year. 3.6 yards per carry. I mean, he's been, like, good for the most part so far, but not amazing. I think we'll look to sign a running back this year, but do we want to re-sign anyone? I mean, Brian Bulaga isn't doing amazing. Andrew Van Ginkel's a backup. I guess maybe Xavier Howard once we get to that point, but he's going to regress. He's going to be 30. Yeah, it's just kind of a lot of depth here, but there isn't really anyone we could bench. I guess maybe we could start Richie at left tackle, but I don't know if he would do much better than Dawson. How about we bench Tooney for Crawford and Dawson for Richie? We'll see what that does, but let's get to the end of the season. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs this year unless those two moves do make a big difference. It could end up being worse too, but let's find out. Okay, maybe I should be grateful for the new Madden games. We finished 6-10 with what I would assume is the best roster in the league. I mean, it happens in the new games too, but I guess it wasn't the best. I mean, the Saints have an 86, but I mean, we were close. Oh no, we do have an 87 overall now. Okay, never mind. We should not have gone 6-10. Okay, that's a problem. All right, what happened? We might honestly look for a new quarterback. We'll see. Joey Ryans has been good, but I know there are quarterbacks in this game that do insanely well, and he's just been, I guess he was really good. I don't know. 3,800 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 picks. His completion percentage has been pretty bad, but he's been fine. Austin Eckler, 1,100 yards, which is cool on paper, but 3.8 yards per carry. We'll probably look for a new running back. Tyler Lockett, 900 yards. Parker with 800 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's cool. It looks like benching those linemen wasn't necessarily a bad move. Crawford at left guard was worse than Tooney, so that wasn't a great one, but Richie was better than Dawson, so I guess maybe we'll do that for next year and maybe try Dawson at right tackle. We're playing musical chairs with our offensive line here, as always in Madden, but it's necessary. We need to find a good starting offensive line. And then Jerome Baker, of course, led the team in tackles again. TFL 17 for Chris Jones. Sacks, 8.5 for Drayton, led the team, 7.5 for Jones, 6 for Wilkins, only 2 for Matt Judon, so I'll just rip the Band-Aid off early. But interceptions, 5 for Fuller, 4 for Barnes, 2 for Howard, and then 1 for quite a few players. So this offense still isn't working. It's not necessarily worse, but it isn't better. But Russell Wilson wins MVP here, at least a fairly normal top 3. I don't think we've seen a Mahomes MVP yet, though. Maybe year 1 we did. I don't know. Gardner Minshew, my GOAT, up there for Offensive Player of the Year, but no Dolphins. Kendall Fuller at 9 for Defensive Player of the Year. Nobody up there for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and really nobody at all for Defensive Rookie of the Year either. Unlucky. But all right, let's get into the offseason. We're coming down to the end here. Last couple years. So let's try to make these count. I don't know what to do, though. We'll look for a new running back. I know that. And maybe if there's a really good offensive lineman in free agency, but just most of them don't do well. But that's an interesting Super Bowl. The Cardinals beat the Ravens 38-25. That's something. But yeah, I don't think we're going to bring any of these guys back. Even Xavier Howard is 30. He's super cheap, though. He is incredibly cheap. Okay, I'm fine with 2 years, 6 point. Okay, well, he rejects it. Unlucky. But we really need another really good free agent class this year. And let's see if we can cut anyone. Can we? Wilkins? No. Joe Tooney, maybe, but we might trade him because he's been pretty bad. Let's see, who needs a left guard? The Cardinals kind of need a left guard, despite just winning the Super Bowl. I'm sure they were a 60 over. This team, look at this offensive line. This looks like our line at the start of this. I'm hoping they lost some players and this isn't the offensive line they won the Super Bowl with. Good Lord. It says they don't even need a left guard as one of their top 5 needs, but it says they need left tackle? I don't know, man. You know what? This game has made me a little grateful for Madden 24. I know that's crazy to say, but this is something. But we'll trade, never mind. They rejected a 3rd round pick for Joe Tooney, or Joe Tooney for a 3rd round pick? That's crazy. Oh, this team is interesting. Kenny Galladay, Kerryon Johnson, who's maybe one of the biggest what ifs. If he never got injured, he could be like one of the best running backs right now. I think he was really good as a rookie. Why does TJ Hawkinson look like, who does he look like? Ninja, maybe? Like bigger Ninja? I don't know. Okay, we'll trade Joe Tooney to the Seahawks for a 3rd round pick. We'll take that. Frees up money, gets a bad player off our books. I mean, he shouldn't be a bad player, but he is for some reason. And let's see. Wait, did Brian Bulaga retire? He did. Okay. And let's see. We might cut Devontae Parker. I guess it depends. He is still good. In free agency, the best player is Devin Bush, who apparently worked out here. He is an 8 or a 90 overall. I think in my current, custom overall rosters, I have him at like a 68 or something. He's been horrible. Dante Pettis is the best receiver here. What a free agent receiver class. Traquan Smith, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, Hunter Renfrow, Tajay Sharp. That's someone I haven't thought of in a long time. This is interesting. Not exactly great. Riley Ridley, I thought he was going to be really good. I think Calvin Ridley's brother. But all right, let me look through here. Unfortunately, this doesn't look like a fantastic free agent class though. But all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be going hard in free agency once again. We need to make this team good. So we're spending as much money as we can, and we are going to sign Devin Singletary, Yannick Ngakoue, Trent Brown, and we'll try to get Xavier Howard back. Very good free agent class, assuming we get all these guys. I might even, everyone has accepted a deal so far if we had the lead for him, but for some reason I'm still worried that if we don't have like a big lead, then we won't get a player. We don't have the salary? What do you mean? It says we do. Literally says we have the cap. What are you talking about? That's a worse deal than what's happening? All right, there we go. This game stresses me out more than a video game should. I'm sure y'all know that though. But we're gonna go for all these players. Obviously, I think Trent Brown could be the most important one here, assuming he plays well. One thing I am really missing in this game that is in the new games is being able to check players' stats when they're in free agency. I mean, you can check their ratings, but we can't see how they've actually played, which is a thing I check for every player in, the new Maddens. I don't think I'm ever going to stop comparing this game to the new ones, but we'll see if we can sign these 4 players. They would be huge additions if we can get all of them, and we do. And we are now up to an 88 overall with a 92 overall defense. We have a pretty good team. It's just about actually playing well in simulation. Oh, Yannick Ngakoue goes down when we move him to outside linebacker. Oh well, he's still an 85. But let's get into one of the final drafts here, and we will see what we can do. Also, I didn't even really, this didn't register with me, but Walter Drayton won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year and didn't get a dev trait. That sucks. But I mean, he's the number 4 ranked right outside linebacker at only an 86. That's crazy. Maybe we should raise the XP sliders even more. I don't know, but we'll leave it how it is at this point. But, I guess the positive of massively underperforming is we get the number 5 pick. Am I blind? I thought like 2 seconds ago that said number 6. No, but that is 5. I guess I'm just blind. I don't know. Because I thought it said the same thing last year. I thought it said 22, and then I looked again and it said 23. I must just be blind. I don't know. But what do we want to do this year? There are some good QBs, which I guess they're not that good. They're late first round talents. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to say we're necessarily in the market for a quarterback, but we're not in the market for a quarterback, and we could probably get a lot of draft picks for ours. I don't know. But what do we want to do? I don't want to go with another lineman. We have enough linemen. There are some really good ones, though. Both Javonte Wallace and Jamal Billingsley are early first round talents. Ooh, Alex McElroy, early first round talent. Not supposed to go until late second, but I think we'll probably take him. Ooh, and Taylor Staton, the defensive tackles this year. We'll probably take both of them just because why not? Ooh, and who's this? Damian Ramsey, mid first round talent. Draft classes are super strong later on. The more I'm, using these, the more I almost kind of like them more in certain ways than the newer style. I like the new style of draft classes, but there are definitely a lot of flaws. I don't know, but I'm not sure what to do. We could actually trade this pick down here. I think we might. It's either that or we take either Jamal Billingsley, Javonte Wallace, or who was the early first-round receiver? Eric Price? Yeah, Eric Price. I don't know if he looks that crazy, though. He has 4.54 speed as a deep threat receiver. That's not great. Why are all these receivers slow? All of them ran 4.5s, and these are the best receivers in the class? That's interesting. All right, we might trade this pick down. I think we're gonna. Let's trade back to around 11-ish. Oh, what? I forgot the upgrade position was still a trade option here. This is so useless. Quincy Nunwa, another really good player who was kind of derailed by injuries. Oh yeah, I forgot trading kind of sucks in this game. It's not really worth it to trade down, I don't think. I mean, we could get like a 3rd round pick, but I'm not trading from 5 to 12 for a 3rd round pick. I'm good. Okay, the more I play this, the more I realize we don't have it too bad compared to this. This is rough. Also, there's only 3 trade slots, so we will just stick and pick. It's not really worth trading down. Just do we go with Eric Price or Jamal Billingsley? I think we have enough linemen at this point, and we can probably grab another one later, maybe. I guess there aren't that many good linemen later. There is Dejon Rucker, so we'll go with Eric Price. I don't know where we're gonna play him though, honestly, but I don't know. I kind of just feel like taking him. I don't really know why, but I want him. Bad choice. I mean, it's a good value pick. He's the 3rd ranked player in the class, so that was a really good pick technically, but normal dev. Unlucky. And let's see. I'm assuming, okay, yeah, the tackle's gone, the guard's gone, so let's go with Alex McElroy here. Early 1st round talent, projected to go late 7th or late 2nd, but he is 6'7" and only 300 pounds. The plan is to move him to defensive end, and that'll work pretty well. I mean, he shouldn't be a nose tackle at 6'7", 300. Hidden dev, ranked 6 in the class, got him at number 37. Sounds good. Again, drafting is way too easy. And let's see, there are a few more good players left. There is obviously Taylor Staton, who we're probably going to go with because, you know, he's another 1st round talent. But there is also Jack Sulak. I guess he's a late 1st. I don't know if he'll ever even... He's probably like a 71 overall, so I'm good. You know, one thing that's very different about this game is the corner classes are always terrible. I mean, there are like 1 or 2 decent players you can find later, but really, I mean, a 4th round talent's probably like a 65 overall here, if that. So we'll go with Taylor Staton out of Wisconsin, only 21 years old, 39 bench reps at the combine. I don't know which defensive tackle we're gonna play. I guess it depends which one's better. Okay, Taylor Staton does not look like his face scan, but he is the best player in the class, and we got him at number 69. Nice. And you know what? While we're hot, let's show one more pick. Where did we get this 3rd round pick from? Oh yeah, Joe Tooney. So I guess we'll go with Rucker. I don't really see anyone else that's all that good. I feel like we don't have as many players scouted this year for some reason. I don't know why, but all right, last pick I'm gonna show. Let's go with Dejon Rucker. Probably only like a 71 or 72, but that's really, I mean, 1st round talent for the mid-3rd. We'll take it. No dev trait, but another 71 overall. Sounds good. I think this was the best draft we have had so far. Every single pick was a very good value pick, and we ended up with, I think, 5 first-round talents, because Jack Sulak was still available in the 4th round, so I was like, why not? He was a first-round talent, obviously. Of course, all these picks were very, very good. I still don't love the Eric Price pick, actually, just because I don't know if he's even going to play, and he has no dev trait, but, I mean, still, he was ranked 3rd. We got him at 5. We'll take it. And then Nate Ramsor, he was a early 2nd-round talent, got him in the 5th. Bruce Wagner was a 2nd-round talent, got him in the 6th. And even Jacques Stevenson, he wasn't scouted, but I saw he had good speed and good, like, 3-cone and shuttle ratings, so I was like, sure. And I mean, he's only a 62, but that was ranked like 150. We got him at like 200, so very, 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 very good draft class. And I mean, just look at it compared to some of these other ones. Drafting is so easy. I know I've said it a million times, but I just can't believe how easy it is. Also, what was the Jaguars draft strategy? This is like what the Falcons did in real life. They like quadrupled up at the same position. The Jags took 6 front 7 players here in 1 corner named Justin Gilbert. I would not take a cornerback named Justin Gilbert. And the Patriots' best player was a 68 overall. The Rams' best player was a 67. These draft classes are so different than the newer games. It's kind of fun. But let's get into the 2023 season, already coming down to the end here, and we will see how the team's looking. All right, well, here's a look at the team heading into year 5. I think it's year 5 anyways. We're up to an 87 overall. We just had a 92 overall defense. I don't know what happened, but I mean, it looks really insane on paper. And once again, still the big question is, how is this offensive defensive line gonna play? Will it be good? Will it be horrible? I have no idea, but we're going with kind of the O-line we were starting last year with Richie at left tackle. I put Dawson at left guard. I still feel like this is gonna be an issue, but I don't know what I can do about that really. It's a good overall. It's an average of like an 82 overall or something. But I mean, this defense is disgusting. I don't know how our offense and defense are the same overall. Our defense looks so much better. Like, we should have a great pass rush. We should get a ton of picks. Like, this should be one of the best defenses in the league. And you know what? I'm gonna be petty. Where do we rank in the league for overall? So the Saints are an 86. They're right behind us, but it looks like we are both far and away the best teams. I guess the Cowboys are an 85, but we do have the best overall team in the league. It always makes me worried when I see that, because I just know we won't live up to it, but we'll see. So let's again get to the midseason point, and hopefully we're doing as well as we should. Okay, we are 4-2-1 at the midseason. Not nearly as good as we should be, but I don't know if we're ever going to be as good as we should be. Maybe it still just might be an offensive playbook issue. Maybe the Bears' offense isn't the move. I mean, I didn't necessarily think it was, but they've had a good offense, so I was like, sure, we'll try it, and it definitely hasn't worked. Should we go with the Cowboys' offense? Probably. How's our defense doing? How are we 4-2-1 with like one of the worst offenses and a below average defense? It was 19th for yards. Maybe just because we've played, 7 games and some teams have played 8. I don't know. But most teams have only played 7 games. All right, time for another offensive playbook change. We'll try the Cowboys offense. I'm assuming blocking is an issue once again. 13 sacks allowed this year. I guess that's better than last year. I mean, it isn't good necessarily, but I don't know if it's gonna get better if we bench anyone. Richie kind of sucks. Oh, Taylor Staton already has 7 sacks. He's probably gonna finish with 8, but at least he has 7 so far. But we have some re-signings this year. How much money do we have is the question, because there's some big ones here. All right, let's start with the biggest one, that is Chris Jones. Okay, we have a good amount of cap space, 41 mil, or more than 41, but 41 after we make this deal. So Chris Jones will go 4 years, 70.3. He takes it. And let's see. I do want Christian Wilkins back too. Do we need him back though is the question, because we did just draft 2 really good defensive linemen. I mean, he has been pretty good though, to be fair. He's kind of been replaced a little bit though. We'll see at the end of the year. I mean, we're going to be tight for cap space. We might not be able to bring him back. But John Ross, meh. Damon Thorne, meh. I mean, how's he doing this year? Only 1 sack allowed so far. He was actually pretty good last year at right guard. We'll see. We might bring him back. Something I need to remember to do in the offseason is sign a good kicker and punter, because there are never good ones available just as like unsigned free agents. So I need to remember to do that in the offseason. But Zach Cunningham, Lynn Barnes could let all these guys go. Most of these guys are like about to regress like Zach Cunningham, or just replaceable like Lynn Barnes. Damon Thorne I do kind of want back, but he isn't like crazy cheap, to be fair. I don't know. We'll see. We will re-sign some players at the end of the year, but for now it's like, I don't know. So let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. Hopefully with a winning record. Is that too much to ask with the best roster in the league? We'll see. Okay, I do not miss this game. We finish 5-10-1 with the best roster in the league. What is happening? What do we do? We had almost the worst offense in the league. Do playbooks not really matter in these games? Like, what matters? Our blocking wasn't even bad. All right, I think we might trade Joey Ryans away. He's been good, but not amazing. Devin Singletary wasn't all that good for being a really good overall. I don't want to keep saying good, but like, he was pretty bad. 3.9 yards per carry. But Eric Price, almost 1,100 yards as a rookie. Lockett, 1,000 yards. Like, our stats are pretty good. How is this almost the worst offense in the league? Even the blocking wasn't that bad, which I thought would be our big downfall. We had a lot of tackles on defense, which isn't usually a good sign. 15 TFLs for Chris Jones, 14 for Taylor Staton, and boy did I call it. 9 sacks for Yannick Ngakoue, 8.5 for Chris Jones, and Taylor Staton got 1 sack through the last 10 games of the year, or 9 games. I don't know why that happens so much. Still a problem in the new games, but we also didn't have many interceptions this year. 3 for Jair Alexander, 2 for Kendall Fuller, and then 1 for a couple players. Am I just bad at rebuilding teams? Like, how do you make a team perform well? Cannot figure it out for the life of me. We also had almost the worst defense in the league, with probably the best on paper. I don't know, man. What can we even do about this? But let's see. I'm assuming we won't have anyone for any awards. Or no, Eric Price wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course. Taylor Staton at 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. McElroy at 6. 6, Sulak at 7. What do I do? Legitimately, is there anything we can do? I don't know. Let's get into the offseason. I'm like stumped. Gotta be quarterback play, right? Like in real life, the stats that Joey Ryans has put up have been, like, these would be good stats in real life, obviously, but here, these aren't great. Also, why do players not get dev traits for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year? That's crazy. I don't think we're gonna bring anybody back. We might have to clean house a little bit, because this isn't working, apparently. So, we'll let everybody here go, and we should have some money this year. So, let's get into free agency. Now down to an 84 overall, but we should have some money. Oh, okay, this was what I was hoping for. I was gonna say, we still haven't drafted an X Factor yet. Taylor Staton does have X Factor. Also, 96 strength, 90 block shedding is crazy. But let's see. Are there any other cuts we can make? Anyone else we can release? Okay, well, Austin Eckler, definitely. But I think that's about it. I guess Jaden Keith, that'd free up almost $1 million in cap space. But Joey Ryans, what do we want to do about him? It is risky to trade him. Like, I'm not 100% sure if that's what I want to do. Because what if we can't even find someone as good as him? So is that the risk we want to take? Where does he... Let's check awards. And how about best QB for the AFC? Was he at least up there? He wasn't even up there, so he's not doing very well. Not even a top 10 QB in the AFC. That's insane. Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, we'll trade him. He'll probably do well for the team that we trade him to, but he's just not working for us. Oh, I want a better pick than 28, but I wonder how good of a pick we'll be able to get for him. I mean, he is a good overall, so I feel like we should be able to get a good pick for him. I just don't know if a team will accept that high of a pick for him. Probably not. Oh, can we even get a first round pick for him? Okay, yeah, we'll get pick 21. I guess that's fine, but let's see who's available in free agency. Okay, so there are a couple good linemen, but other than that, it is a terrible free agent class. It is really bad. But let's see what we want to do. Steven Sims has superstar? Why? He doesn't even have a face scan here. I don't know. I might sign him. That would be kind of fun. We kind of need a receiver. I mean, we definitely need one, but we'll try to sign him. I wonder how Trent Williams does in this game. Probably bad because he's good. But all right, here's what we're gonna do in free agency. It's, you know, kind of the same thing we've been doing, just trying to get as good of players as we can in free agency, as big of upgrades, and then just hope that something works out next year. I mean, what more can we really do? But these are some, you know, okay players. This is the worst free agent class we've probably had, but just because there isn't really anyone here that's, you know, super great. So we'll go for Trent Williams. I have no idea how he does in this game, but I guess we'll find out. He's just a one-year rental because he'll probably retire after the year. But Stanley Lake looks like a pretty good player. He would be an upgrade over Xavier Howard. Zach Cunningham, we'll bring him back. Steven Sims, we'll try to sign him. We'll bring Lynn Barnes back, and then we will sign a kicker and punter. There were no good punters available, so I guess we'll just go with one of the 71s. Or no, I guess Glenn Gano has star dev, so I guess we'll try to sign him. But all right, we'll see if these players sign, and it looks like, ooh, they all do except for Steven Sims. That kind of sucks. And Zane Gonzalez hasn't signed yet. All right, let's try to sign, I guess Franklin Hatcher's pretty good. He's younger at least. So I'm assuming they'll sign, but let's get to the draft, and we need a QB now, obviously. In the draft, we pick at number 5 once again for like the third time in this rebuild. But let's see. Unfortunately, there isn't a great quarterback in this class. Both Will Whitty and Aaron Kerr are late first round talents, so we'll pick Kerr with the later first round pick that we have. I was gonna maybe trade up for Whitty if he was actually good. He looks pretty good on paper though. Like, he's not crazy slow. He's a strong arm QB. He has A throw power, A- short accuracy, A- mid accuracy. Like, he looks decent, but only a late first round talent, so that sucks. What do we do though? What should we do with this first pick? Really, these receivers aren't that good. I mean, they're mid firsts, but they look pretty good on paper, especially Devontae Madden. I'm surprised he's only a mid first. I would trade down, but like I said earlier, it just isn't worth it to trade down. Oh, there are a lot of good defensive tackles this year. Deshaun Manning, early first round talent. Ricky Callaway, well, he's a mid first, but that's still really good. You know, I really don't know what I want to do with this first pick. We kind of don't really need much anymore other than a quarterback and maybe a receiver, I guess. Should we just reach on one of the receivers? But I don't think, like, the guy we signed out of free agency is better than any of those receivers would be in the draft. And we have enough linemen at this point. And you know, we have 3 good D linemen, good pass rushers. This is tough. This is really tough. What do we do? I'm half tempted to just go with one of the receivers, but let's get to our pick. Will Whitty is available, but he's just not that good. You know what? I want to have the security of having a good offensive lineman in case we need to bench one of our guys. So I think we will still just go with another lineman. We've taken so many of them. It's just hard to find one that will actually play as well as they should. So I think we'll go with Corey Clements. Very fast, ran a 4.84. Crazy good strength, but good strength. Andrew Stark does have really good strength though, and he's really fast. Okay, I think I changed my mind. I think we'll go with Stark. 76 overall, that's not bad. Good value. I feel like the draft classes are getting worse. A 76 is the 4th best player in the class. I mean, that's a good pick, but that's not that good of a player. And here, let's go with hopefully a quarterback with a dev trait. Will Whitty is still available. So is Aaron Kerr. Aaron Kerr's a year younger. We could end up getting both of these QBs though, but I think we'll just take the player that is projected to go higher in Will Whitty. Does have hidden dev, thankfully. 71 overall, we'll take it. And he's a scheme fit, so that's cool, I guess. I wish there was a better quarterback in this draft, but what can you really do? But here, you know what? We don't really need a tight end, but we don't have too many needs anymore. Like I was saying, quarterback was our last actual need. We do kind of need a receiver, but there was no one good enough here, so I think we'll go with Clifford Brock. I mean, he's the only mid-first round talent player left, at least out of ones that are scouted. He skipped the combine, apparently, has good ratings. I honestly wouldn't guess that he's a mid-first round talent. Like, doesn't look that crazy on paper, but he must be athletic, so we will take him. Hidden dev, 75 overall, ranked 15 in the class, got him at number 37. Sounds good. And then the last pick I'm gonna show, I guess we could use another D tackle. There were some receivers available that we don't have scouted but had really good combine grades. LaShawn Gunter is 6'6". If this was an actual, you know, like played out franchise, I would definitely take him, but in simulation, Okay, neither of those guys look that great. I was hoping they would be guys with good 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle numbers. So let's go with, I think, the last first-round talent left on the board. He is 24, though. But oh well. Malcolm King, gonna regress in like 2 years, but I guess we won't even get to that point anyways, so we'll take him. No dev trait, but another first-round talent, so why not? Oh wait, and I didn't even realize, but this is the final season. That was the last draft we're gonna have. We are heading into the 2024 year. We might have to go to 2025. I know I said 2024 would be our last year, but you know, I don't know if I want to go into the last year with a rookie quarterback, so we'll see. Depends on how we do this year, but you know, good draft. Maybe our worst draft so far, but it was still good. I mean, really, we did about as well as we could have, of course, because it isn't very hard. But Andrew Stark, 76 overall. Will Whitty, 71 overall. That was like, you know, technically a reach, but he's a QB, like the only good one available, so we'll take it. And then Clifford Brock, very good pick, of course. Malcolm King, good pick. I also took Terry Bibbs. He was like a 2nd-round talent, picked him in the 4th, and then Watson was like a 4th-round talent, so that wasn't a great pick, but he was like one of the last draftable players that we had scouted, so I was like, sure, why not? And then I just simulated it. It picked a draftable receiver, so I guess that's cool, but hold on. I can't believe I haven't really thought about this, but there was no way. No, I've thought about this, but I haven't actually checked. There was no way to make draft classes stronger, right? Because I don't really love how strong the new draft classes are in Madden. I know you can change them and make them weaker. It's just people like to see the stronger ones, but these are almost like too weak. These are very weak draft classes. But no, there isn't. I don't think there's a way to make them stronger. I don't think they made that a thing until this year, maybe last year. I don't know. But either way, that's fine. We did well. And let's get into what possibly could be the final year depending on how we do. Oh my God, I forgot about the hold A to reorder thing. I hated this so much. How do you even fix it? Do you just have to reorder someone? No, that doesn't even do it. Oh my God. All right, let me restart my game. That's gonna drive me insane. But here we are heading into the final year, possibly the final year. We could do one more. Depends on how we do this year, but we are still a good team despite, you know, just trading our quarterback away. Only an 84 offense, but an 88 defense. Of course, looking really good. I think the best defense we've had yet. I mean, we had a 92 at one point, but I think it was just lying to us. I don't know. But you know, I gotta check one more time. Where does an 85 rank in the league? I doubt we're the best anymore because, you know, we did just trade our quarterback away again. But let's see. The Saints are also an 85, and I think that's it. So we're still tied for the best overall team in the league. That's crazy. If we don't do well this year, I mean, it is an old game, but still, I don't even know what to think if we do bad this year. I mean, at least we have a reason to not do well, which is our not great QB, but I mean, we've seen, I think the Bears quarterback was a 71 overall and he won MVP, so hopefully Whitty can too. I doubt he'll win MVP, but hopefully he does well enough. But let's get to the midseason point once again. Please, can we finally do well. Okay, well, we are not at the midseason point. We are at the end of the season here. And super quick, before I reveal how we did, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed. I would very much appreciate it. Let's see if we can get to, what was the goal? 2,500 likes? Should be able to hit that. I would very much appreciate it. Sounds stupid, but it really does help out the channel. And be sure to subscribe again if you haven't already. I normally do, you know, current Madden rebuilds, Madden 24 rebuilds, or soon college football rebuilds. I'm very excited for that. So again, subscribe if you want to see those. And let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down in the comments. But here's a look at the team at the end of year 5. And Will Whitty was definitely a good pick. He has X Factor. That's insane. Only ranked 25 in the league as a 77. I guess that's about right. But yeah, the X Factor is huge. Definitely a good move to trade our old quarterback away. And in what is gonna be the final season here, we finished 10-6 and we made the playoffs. Still not as good as we should have been, but at least we were in the playoffs. We'll take it. But Will Whitty, 3,800 yards, 42 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions as a rookie? Did he win MVP? Maybe. I thought he could be okay, but I honestly kind of thought he would suck. I kind of thought it was hard to make rookie quarterbacks work around this time. I just thought quarterbacks were always terrible as a rookie, but no. Also, I unfortunately don't think he won MVP. Neil Copeland was insane for the Bears. But let's go through the rest of our stats first. Devin Singletary, 1,400 yards, 4.4 per carry, 8 touchdowns. Very good numbers. Why did we go 10-6? Tyler Lockett, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. Not much other than him, but he did well. Was the blocking an issue? I saw we only allowed like 13-something sacks, or no, 30-something. But Trent Brown was kind of horrible. We might bench him. He was really bad, despite being our highest overall offensive lineman. Big surprise, I know. But Zach Cunningham led the team in tackles this year with 96. TFL's 10 for Drayton and Jones, and sacks 11.5 for Walter Drayton, 8 for Chris Jones, only 5.5 for Ngakwe, 5 for Taylor Staton. I keep wanting to call him Tyler Staton. And then interceptions, 4 for Fuller, 3 for Baker, and then 2 for Alexander, Neal, and Late. But I don't think we won MVP, unfortunately. Oh, wait. Whitty all the way down at 8? I mean, I guess he didn't have that many yards, but that's kind of crazy. And yeah, it goes to Neil Copeland. He didn't even win Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, I guess that makes sense. He is a quarterback, but it does go to a quarterback. Oh, wait. Okay, almost the whole list is quarterbacks for Offensive Player of the Year. I forgot that was a thing. Lamar wins it, whatever. Nobody up here for Defensive Player of the Year. Rashawn Evans wins it. He's won like all of them. But Will Whitty, obviously Offensive Rookie of the Year. Clifford Brock at number 8, which he's developed a decent amount too. What was his dev trade, I wonder? And then Malcolm King at number 7 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But we didn't really have many defensive rookies get any playing time. So let's see. We might make some changes to the depth chart here. I want to see, Andrew Stark has developed a lot too throughout the year as a backup. He started as a 76 and is now up to an 80. I think he could have a really good dev trait. You know what? I think I'm going to start him over Trent Brown anyways, but I'm going to cheat. I want to see what his dev trait is. Only star. Okay. He developed that much with only star as a backup? That's kind of crazy. But all right, we'll start him at right tackle for the playoffs here, which I feel like isn't as good of a strategy in this game as it is in, you know, the current games, but we'll see what happens. And by the way, we are coming off of a 35-0 win against the Jets. Just a little bit of a win. And apparently we have a weekly award. Drayton with 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery in week 17. You know what? Let's go through and check if we won any others. Whitty won Offensive Player of the Week in week 9, getting sacked 5 times, still somehow won it. 4 touchdowns, 350 yards. Also won it in week 5, 6 passing touchdowns, and almost 400 yards. How did he only finish with like 3,000? Did he have some really horrible games? I guess he couldn't have. He only had like 6 total picks. I don't know. Kind of weird. Oh, I keep forgetting to spend Coach XP. What should we spend it on? I guess just training boost, but we're not going to develop too much anymore, I don't think. But let's see who we're going to be facing in the divisional. I don't know how we got a first round bye going 10-6, by the way, but it is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. That's scary. I wonder what they look like here. And you know, hey, this is kind of realistic. These are 2 of the top AFC teams right now, Dolphins and Ravens. Not the top 2 AFC teams, but 2 of them. But they look pretty good. Obviously, Lamar in 99, but Ronnie Stanley still still really good here, hasn't really fallen off like he kind of did in real life. Kind of same with Marlon Humphrey, honestly. They still have Marquise Brown and Orlando Brown. So this is basically just the Ravens from 5 years ago, with not, I guess, some changes, but still their core best players, or at least most of them. So they do look pretty good. And you know what? I'll check one more time. What's their overall? We're an 86. They're an 85, so we are a little bit better. But let's simulate this game against the Ravens, possibly the last game of the rebuild. And can we get our first and maybe only playoff win of this painful rebuild? Of course not.